How long do you think your attention span is? Is it seconds? Minutes? Hours? How are you even supposed to measure it? A quick Google search will tell you that the average attention span is 8.25 seconds. Most of the internet says 8 seconds. Some say as little as 6 seconds. And all of them compare us to a goldfish, I guess to make us feel bad about ourselves. But if you're still watching this video, you know that's not true, because it's been more than 8 seconds, and you're still here. Why? I did a quick Google search, and I found that the 8 seconds is supposed to have come from a study by Microsoft, but a closer look shows that the study never happened. Many years ago, a Microsoft advertising employee discovered that number on a shady website that quoted a report of only 25 people. The report measured how fast they clicked off of websites they didn't like. It was from 2008. It had no credibility, but this number is now everywhere. And if you start to think about it, it makes no sense. When you drive a car, do you stop looking at the road after 8 seconds? If that happened, we'd all be dead by now. So someone is lying to us. This is the truth. Our attention spans aren't actually decreasing. If a new movie comes out in theaters, you can watch it for an hour, even 2 hours, just fine. If you like a YouTube video, you can watch it for 20 minutes or more easily. And you definitely binge watched a TV show before. Even if there were boring parts, you were still able to focus hours of attention on one thing. But would you ever sit through a boring TikTok? Never. In fact, for apps like these, most of us, the second we lose the slightest bit of interest, we're gone. Just for a 30-second TikTok, it seems that all different kinds of tricks are required just to keep people from swiping away. Why? Why does it feel easy to read a book chapter, but impossible to read an Instagram caption longer than a few sentences? The problem is not how short your attention span is. The problem is how many things are competing for it. The more things there are to distract you, the easier it is to get distracted. Makes sense, right? People didn't have longer attention spans 100 years ago just because they were able to read newspapers and books and listen to speeches for hours. People still do that today. The only difference is, 100 years ago, you barely had anything to distract you. You either read or you did nothing. You listened to a speech or you did nothing. Fast forward 100 years, and no matter what you're doing, you are surrounded by options. Every corner of the internet is filled with content engineered to grab your attention. Even right now, you're only one click or tap away from... let's not talk about it. If you're trying to get work done, especially boring work, it feels impossible because distractions are so easily accessible. This is how quickly it could happen. Let's take a step back. You don't always have that many things fighting to grab your attention. Picture this. You're lying in bed and your phone is charging somewhere out of reach, but you have a book with you. Right now, that book is the only thing immediately competing for your attention. It's either read or do nothing. So you read and keep reading, and before you know it, an hour has gone by. This is your attention span. 1 hour. That's not 8 seconds. But once your phone fully charges, you open TikTok or Instagram Reels and the first video plays. Is it interesting? Probably. It's tailored to whatever you like after all. And it's probably more attention grabbing and more visually stimulating than the book that you just read. But you sense a dull moment and you're gone. You scroll to the next one, and the next one, and the next one. When there are an infinite amount of videos fighting for your attention, it's no wonder that we're very picky about what we choose to watch. You've definitely seen videos like these before. Maybe it's a clip from a show or a video game or something. But that's not all, because there's 11 videos for you to choose from. Now that's an extreme example. That's better. The reason people make videos in this 2-in-1 format is not to keep your attention. It's to keep you from swiping away, which is not the same thing. You see, if enough people watch a TikTok without swiping away, the algorithm boosts it, and it gets way more views. Usually, to do this, it has to have an interesting story, or an original idea, or something creative. But you can skip all that, and shove 2 mediocre videos into one. That way, when people inevitably get bored of the first one, they can switch to the second one. And when they get bored of the second one, they can switch to the first one. all without ever swiping away. Do you see what I mean? We're unable to focus because we spend our time in places where everyone wants our attention. It's not a problem with your brain, it's a problem with your environment. Let's fix it. Step 1. Ask yourself, are you trying to focus on something? Maybe something like this. Yes? Okay, good. Step 2. Get rid of anything that could potentially distract you. Move your phone out of sight, somewhere where you can't easily get it. Close your YouTube tabs, your Reddit tabs, your email, and whatever else you start opening up when you're bored, and direct your eyes towards what you're doing. And give yourself only 2 options: focus or do nothing. Soon enough, you'll realize that your attention span is way longer than 8 seconds. You can focus on a book, or an essay, or a conversation for an hour. Even if you get bored, there's nothing to steal your attention. So you keep focusing, and eventually, you're done. And you realize the whole time you didn't do anything to increase your attention span. You just unlocked the attention span you've always had. Because whatever they might tell you, it's not this. And you are not worse than a goldfish.